Hi everyone, I hope you're doing okay. It is a bit windy and rainy, but hopefully you can't hear it. I just want to talk a little bit this week because I'm a bit sick of hearing my own voice after the last couple of very long videos, so I'm hoping this one is going to be shorter. I'm not going to talk as much, I just want to show you some stuff. I will really quickly preface this by saying that I finished reading The Raven Boys. And it is as good as I remember. I can't believe I managed to forget that Ronan adopts a raven and calls her Chainsaw. I completely forgot about that somehow, and it was a 10 out of 10 experience to get to relive. The books are as good as I remember. I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna read the rest of them, and then I'm gonna read the second series that you guys told me about. But first, I've actually been reading Six of Crows. I'm reading it on the Kindle app on my phone, which has actually made it a lot faster to read, and I find I pick it up a lot more. I'll just read for like 10 minutes at the lunch table and stuff, where normally I wouldn't want to do that with an actual book in case it got dirty or something. We have the kind of kitchen where like there's always just weird puddles, so I never really want to just put a book down on the table because you never know what's on the table. So it's been weirdly easier to read on my phone, which feels kind of cursed, but then it's like, well, if I'm reading books, it doesn't really matter, but it does feel a bit cursed. But I can't argue with its efficiency. So anyway, I finished The Raven Boys, and now I'm 200 pages into the Six of Crows. I'm having a really good time. So I think I beat that like reading slump. I guess maybe after I read The Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, and then I read all of the Raven Cycle and the Lynch Brother books, maybe then I'll get If We Were Villains on my phone, and maybe that'll be the secret to getting it finished. Books aside, just a quick book update for my book fans, or for other book fans, not like my book fans, like other book fans. In my hobonichi cousin, I'm settling in really well. I'm having a good time. I think I've shown you a bit throughout the week, I'm hoping, because obviously I lost, I mean not obviously to you guys, but I did lose some footage. It got a bit weird. I'm not sure what happened. I videoed quite a lot and then some of it just wasn't there. I think maybe my phone storage was full, but my phone hadn't told me, so it just disappeared into the ether. But I'm having a good time. I'm settling in well. Using the top half as my commonplace book is going swimmingly. I am 13 pages into it, and I'm having a good time. To be honest, I have been creeping into these bottom sections that are meant to be reserved for journaling on the correlating date. I have just been sneaking in there on quite a few pages, but I don't mind too much because at the end of the day, whatever keeps me moving through the book is what I care about. If I want to write, if I feel like I have things to say, things to get off my chest, I'm just gonna do that. I'm not really gonna hold myself back just in case, because like when I hit a slump eventually, I'll hate myself for having lost so much space, I guess, if that makes sense. So I'm just carrying on like I don't really care. I'm not really using the dates, as I said in the previous video. I'm just going to use them for indexing. I am trying to keep these spaces for just in case, but yeah, not super attached really. Not being super precious about it, I guess is the way to say it. I am having a good time. I've got a lot of brain drain, well, just this one. I've got a reasonable amount of brain drain going on because there's always a lot of thoughts in my head. Some notes on commonplacing, just because that's a nice way to introduce a new commonplace book. And this one is a continuation, so they're the same article. I drew the line actually just to show that this is the article and then it carries on. So I drew a line to show that like it's a turnover, if that makes sense. Marked with my index dots. Brain drain. These stickers I got from Choosing Keeping in London. They're so pretty. I just think they're the most beautiful thing. So down here I was actually writing about when I was in London with Gosha, and I put one of the stickers there because I actually ruined the page underneath. But now you would never know. I put a different sticker there. I think it was a label from the bag these came in, and it stuck funny and I tried to pull it back up and it was so sticky it just like shredded the page. But I covered it and it looks okay, so we're not thinking about it. This was a page about packing shop orders and things arriving, just because I was excited. As I said before, this has been a real passion project for me, so it's been really nice just to kind of document the process for myself. especially while I'm still feeling so conflicted. I'm hoping that when I look back on it in the future, obviously, I'll just have like the fond memories left. I don't really feel that upset about it anymore, like it happened, but it has been stressful to deal with. These bits you saw last week. Some more notes on commonplacing, some brain drain. This one is a work tag because it's about the gloomies. I think we did these ones. And then on migraines, we talked about that. Down here, I added a bit about autistic Sherlock Holmes, so that's my autistic Sherlock Holmes tag. Some more brain drain and some index dots for little miscellaneous bits for images that are commonplace entries in their own rights. So that's what's going on in the commonplace section. Because it's raining, I guess the sun has like fallen out of the sky momentarily. So if it's gotten really dark in the video, I'm so sorry. Hopefully it'll be okay. But in here now, it's like, it's very dark. I wanted to show you how I'm using the weekly pages. I guess that's the main thing I'm here to talk about. And it's not super interesting, I can't lie to you, it's not super interesting. It's just very practical because that's what it's for. This is my planning space as opposed to my creative space. On the left hand side here, I just have some general to-dos for the week. At the bottom, I'm tracking my habits. So engaging with a special interest, drinking a bottle of water, doing a little bit of work, and self-care. Every week I kind of change what the self-care activity is. This week it's commonplace. And then I'm just ticking them off. There's no like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to show for the habit tracking because there's actually just 7 squares. So 4 and then 5, 6, 7 to where the line is drawn. That's 7 squares. So I think I can keep track of that okay. 1 square for 1 day of the week, obviously. In the columns, I am just adding tasks and working on them. I'm adding some notes about my day, some small stickers. Down here, I'm tracking my evening routine because to me, that's like my most important routine is my evening one. So showering, skincare, migraine meds, and practicing Welsh. And I just write that out every day. It's not really bothering me so far. And then I'm just adding tasks as I need them sort of on the day, and it's quite nice to keep updating it. Using the same crossing off method as before, so a full cross when it's finished, a half mark when it started, and then just sort of, that's it, really. It's really that simple, so yeah, it's really that simple. I don't think there's too much to say about it. I'm adding some other notes about my day sort of as I go, which is nice. It's nice to have more room to do that without having to try and fill up the whole square of the hobonichi weeks. Here I just wrote rest because I was really tired yesterday. Today I did put my laundry away finally, so we can tick that one. It's taken me days. I think I first wrote it on Monday or Tuesday. Didn't do it. Did it today though, finally. Film audio segment. We're doing it. What's this? Take thumbnail. Finish editing video, upload video, write Patreon post. Haven't done that yet because that's a Friday evening thing. Yeah, I think it's working. I think it's working well. I did practice Welsh last night in the end. And then we can do special interest on that. Bottle of water, we're halfway there. A little bit of work is what we're doing right now, and no commonplacing yet today, but probably later. So that's how I'm using the space. It's so simple, and I'm not gonna sit here and ramble about it, but that's just how simple it is, just so you can see. My calendar, I'm using the same way as I showed you last week. I am adding the books I'm reading, so when I'm starting and finishing books, I added them here. And here as well for April, just because that's still March in the square. So that's quite nice to have the little book sticker for when I'm reading, especially now that I'm reading a bit more again, because I am reading a bit more again. I say very optimistically. I've added it on the left hand side here, just at the bottom. I don't think I read anything in February, so I didn't add anything. Oh no, I must have started something. Oh, I was still trying to read If We Were Villains. Never mind, we'll not talk about that. But I did add books read, so that's quite nice. So that's how I'm doing it. I'm just tracking my habits down here. I'm vaguely tracking books where I want to, when I want to, I guess. I think in my commonplace book, I also did a little bit of writing about a book I was reading. Yeah, so I added the book sticker again here to show that I was thinking about a book on this side. This side is brain drain, this side I was thinking about a book, which works quite well. But that's it. That's how it's working, and I think it's working. I feel really good about it still. I was really hoping the cover I ordered was going to arrive this week, but it got shipped with Every, which, if you don't know, is just Hermes under a new name. They tried to outrun their bad reputation. It says it's been delayed, which is like, of course it has. Every time we get any parcels delivered with Every around our area, they just like seem to disappear into a void. So I'm pretty sad about it. Hopefully it is going to update tomorrow and get delivered, but I'm not particularly optimistic, to be honest. Just because I don't know what happens in our area specifically, but all the Every parcels disappear, so it's very disappointing. But I guess I'll update you next week if it arrives. I'm trying not to think about it. We lose so many parcels. I would say like 9 out of 10 parcels go missing if they're being shipped by Every to us. We really only have like a 1% success rate with getting them delivered. They just disappear, they get delayed, and they just vanish off the tracking, like they just disappear. So I'm trying not to think about that being the potential outcome for my book cover, because I would really like the cover to arrive, because I'm going away next week just for a couple of days and I want to be able to take it with me. But I don't feel like it's safe enough just in the Midori cover, like the plastic cover. I don't feel like it's safe enough. I wouldn't want to throw this in my bag. So I was really hoping the cover was going to arrive. And the really nice lady who makes it, her name is Keely. She even said that she was going to work on it super fast and get it shipped for me so that I could take it. I just didn't know she was going to ship with Every. So, okay, it's fine. We'll see what happens. I'll let you know. I will film some more clips so you can see some work today, because I lost some footage of working on this stuff. I will try and do a couple of pages for you to see. But it's working really well. I'm having a really good time. I hope it's been nice for you to see it. I hope the system makes sense. If you have questions about it, let me know. I saw some people asking about how I was writing in April if April hasn't started, or what I do if I run out of room on a page. So obviously I'm disregarding the dates, and that's why I'm writing in April. The dates don't mean anything to me apart from being an indexing system. If I run out of room on a page, I just turn the page. There are more pages, so because I'm not writing on the day for the day, I can just use the pages freely. I don't know if you guys can hear that rain. It's so intense. I'll film it in the window in a second when I'm done talking, but it's so intense. Yeah, I just turn the page as shown here, and then I draw an arrow to let myself know that it's a continuation. It's really that simple. It really is. I think those were the only major questions. The other question was about my pen. I'm using the Pilot Friction pen. It's the 0.7mm nib. So it's quite thick for most people for such small squares, but I really like it. This is the pen. No, I'm not worried about the ink fading. I have talked about it before, but someone was asking again recently, and the short answer is no, I don't really care. I've never had an issue, so I'm just carrying on because I don't like change. So not worried about the pen. But that is what's happening this week. I hope you've been enjoying it, and I will see you next week, I guess. Any questions, leave them in the description and I'll answer them for you.